Health insurance today has become of utmost importance. People have become very health conscious. People now are gradually beginning to realize the value of good health insurance. Also acts as a hedge against unexpected health emergencies. Hedge is what? They kind of take care of your costs, which are prohibitive. Because in case a family gets admitted and does not have health insurance, then there could be big problems, as I have seen various cases where the families have had to sell off their properties to get the treatment of cancer done for their loved ones. Basically, there is a floater health insurance which covers the health of the entire family. The premium in a floater is normally at a discounted cost, because in the nuclear family we have the husband, the wife and the children. But now there has been another add-on. A floater insurance also gives family protection to extended families, like the head of the family's father, mother, and also father-in-law, mother-in-law. They can also be covered. So this is an add-on benefit which has been given by the insurance companies after much of deliberation. I would like to do a little bit of deep diving into the two verticals of insurance, which have been neglected over decades, but gradually people have come to understand the significance of these verticals. The first slide, which itself signifies insurance, a practical necessity. See, today insurance has become very important household topic, because it is with this insurance that a family gets protection in terms of insurance coverage to its members against any health exigencies which crop up, or protection of its breadwinner who is bringing in the income for the family. In case of any untoward incident, it is very imperative for him to get a cover, as in case of any untoward happening, the family gets a money which is an insurance cover in terms of sum assured. We call it a sum assured in the technical parlance. It is called a sum assured, along with the interest which also accrue, and that goes to the nominee. So it takes care of the very unfavorable conditions, helps the family to tide over unfavorable conditions in case such an event happens. Now, coming to the significance, I've already mentioned about the practical significance of insurance. I would be dealing first with the vertical, which, as I said, would be health insurance, and the second vertical, which I would be discussing in due course, would be the life insurance. So now let us start with the health insurance. Health insurance today has become of utmost importance. People have become very health conscious. People now are gradually beginning to realize the value of good health. So apart from going to gyms, apart from going for yoga, it is very important that the people should also concentrate on getting their insurance covers through health insurance. Now, the kind of health insurance, what is the benefit of going in for a health insurance? The health insurance cover basically is going to protect your income, the financial protection, the financial security of the family. Because with this health insurance cover, you are getting access, number one, to a network of hospitals. And we also have third-party administrators who are in between the client and the network of hospitals. So in case of any kind of health urgency, a health insurance cover protects the interest of the client by giving him access to a number of hospitals in his state or district, because this is a presence which is pan-India. He can go and get himself admitted to any hospital for a checkup, and also get admitted in case the case is serious. In that case, the importance of a third party administrator becomes very important, because it is the third party administrator which monitors the claim. Unless there is a presence of a third party administrator, we cannot go directly to the insurance company and ask for claims. So the third party administrator plays a very pivotal role. Depending on the seriousness of the disease, the third party administrator negotiates with the company and gives the best possible amount which is released, so that the cost of the treatment is covered. And today, you see, treatment costs are very expensive. The minute you get admitted to any hospital, you immediately have to dish out minimum 50,000 rupees. Forget about the operating cost. This is just the admission cost. So that gets taken care of when you are covered under health insurance. Number two, especially now if I'm talking of women. For women also, it is very, very important for them to get covered under health insurance. See, women today are forming the backbone of the society. They are also equal stakeholders to the country's growth of GDP. Even we talk of a simple housewife who's sitting at home and looking after the family. Unless the housewife is in proper health condition, how will she be able to take care? And if she doesn't take care, how will the family be able to go and work and earn? So indirectly, she's contributing. Rather, I'd say she's the biggest contributor, because she's looking after the welfare in terms of good food. She's taking care of children, so that the husband is able to work without any distraction. Because today, most of the families have become nuclear. So this has become very important point. So now, earlier we used to consider health insurance as a luxury, but now it is no more a luxury. It has become a necessity, and it has percolated to the grassroots of our society. Secondly, health insurance also acts as a hedge against unexpected health emergencies. Hedge is what? They kind of take care of your costs, which are prohibitive. Because in case a family gets admitted and does not have health insurance, then there could be big problems, as I have seen various cases where the families have had to sell off their properties to get the treatments of cancer done for their loved ones. Cancer again is a disease which is unpredictable. So they have lost out on their savings, their entire life's earnings, their properties, and they have gone into a bad condition. Why? Just because they did not take care of this factor there. And it is basically the responsibility of the head of the family to ensure that my family is also protected. It is not just breadwinning and getting income for the family and going to the market and getting the stuff for the family. He also needs to think about the health insurance of himself and also his loved ones. So now, the next point which comes in health insurance is it provides a safety net. What do I mean by a safety net? With the health insurance, one feels confident of going to any hospital, any specialist, walking in and coordinating with the TPA without having to think twice that I am going to an expensive hospital and I will not have the money. That health insurance, sum insured, which we call in a technical term, takes care of the insurance of the person, of the health care of the person in case of any kind of unexpected emergency. Number three, the person also does not have to think about that, oh, I will not be able to stay for long. See, the insurance cover also gives you a cover for your room expense, for your doctor's expenses. So you just walk in and the insurance value helps the provider to take care of the treatment without tension to the person who has been admitted. Now we also talk of a special kind of health coverage which has been introduced. And this was introduced last year actually. This was never there. There was a lot of debate in the ministry with all the health insurance providers with life insurance, providers who were also giving health insurance products, that there also should be preventive care which should be included, because preventive care is something which is very important. It is not only getting admitted at the time of health emergency, it should be preventive care. So especially in case of women, they have a lot of health problems which are not looked into. So say the women folk who have got health insurance, without fail, even if they do not need to get admitted, they can go to any hospital with their health card and get themselves checked in case of pregnancy, in case of preventive screenings like against malignant diseases like cancer, and also other complicated reproductive health problems. They also get effective health consultations with the top physicians, which also is a part of this coverage. So health insurance mitigates, basically it mitigates the impact of rising healthcare costs. How does it mitigate the impact? Because every year when a person is going in for health insurance checkup, the company which is providing health insurance automatically steps up the insurance. There is a step up also of 5% to 10% depending on how much the health card has been used. So every year, even if the balance has been utilized, whatever, there is still a step up quotient which is given. So this is basically what I mean by mitigating the impact of rising healthcare costs. So now basically if we look at this particular slide, they are dealing with maternity care, preventive screenings against any kind of diseases which can happen in the near future. They have a family protection. Basically, there is a floater health insurance which covers the health of the entire family. The premium in a floater is normally at a discounted cost, because in the nuclear family we have the husband, the wife and the children. But now there has been another add-on. A floater insurance also gives family protection to extended families like the head of the family's father, mother, and also father-in-law, mother-in-law. They can also be covered. So this is an add-on benefit which has been given by the insurance companies after much of deliberations. So after the health insurance, I will now discuss another very important vertical, which is life insurance. So life insurance today is an age-old neglected vertical or age-old neglected topic, because normally when in the earlier times people used to go for selling life insurance proceeds. See, I have been a senior business development manager and I have trained a number of the life insurance advisors who are basically the first point of contact, right? And I have also trained branch heads in which unit, it's the basic unit from where the life insurance business starts. And in those trainings, the first point which I have always taken up, I've asked those first point of contact is, what do you basically tell the client when you're going for a life insurance? The basic answer they say is, we basically go and ask the policy holder, the prospect, that sir, please life insurance policy lay low. But why should anybody go in for a life insurance? Because this is where I think the training has not been able to have much of an impact on the advisors. Why? Because they feel that by telling go for a life insurance, the client will go for a life insurance. No. Why should a client go? Basically, one has to explain the fundamental of life insurance by looking at the background of the client. Now, what is the requirement? First of all, this is again a psychology. It is a psychology. It's an insurance is a psychology. You have to understand what is the client's background. For that, there has to be a preliminary interview with the client regarding what is the state of his family, how many members are depending on him, what is his income, how is his health. So, these are various features which have to be asked by the agents, which they normally don't ask. They basically want to sell the product and feel great that yes, I've sold a life insurance policy. They run back to the unit, business unit. They tell their managers that we have got an insurance, that get a pat on the back, but actually have they really done justice? They have not done justice. Justice will only happen when you really become one with the family. You have to understand the psychology of the family. You have to understand what is his income. From that income, you've also got to compute that, okay, fine, and be a very good advisor, because this is where advice comes. See, 10% of your income should be kept aside for this life insurance, depending on his age and depending on his requirement. I mean, most of the advisors, they don't even look at the term. I mean, they give a very long term without understanding that does he really require that kind of a long term? Because see, life insurance is a cover, but apart from being a simple coverage, there are financial benefits attached to it also. Because you see, our organization, which is under the government of India, it gives a very good guarantee of a bonus. I mean, if the person is paying a premium every year, not only is he secured, he is also adding to his corpus. Because today what happens is, such people who are the working class, I mean, be it the lower class or the upper middle class or the rich class, everybody, they need to get their self secured, number one, because corpus is also important. At the end of the day, you have to see that there is a corpus. At the end of the term, if I'm not getting anything, then what is the fun? Because I have to also secure my financials. That financial could be for, number one, education. That financial could be for marriage. That financial also could be for old age. Because today what is happening in a country like India, we don't have social security, and this is a very big social security which is not explained, which is unexplained. So I think apart from the life insurance, these financial benefits are also very important, because the company or a life insurance corporation guarantees a fixed income or a fixed return, which is not going to be otherwise. It is always more, because every year we are increasing in our terms of our bonuses. Why? Because LIC is a big provider of funds to the government of India. So it's a milking cow for the government of India. So the government of India supports LIC. You see, when LIC started way back in 1956, it was given a government guarantee. What is the government guarantee? They gave a 5 lakh rupee in the year 1956 at the time of nationalization. Earlier there used to be companies. They were all under the British Raj. From 1956, the Life Insurance Corporation Act came into play, and the government was a supporter. So the government said, we'll give you a guarantee. So a 5 lakh rupee was given at that point of time. Today, you see, we have a life fund of 40 lakh crore. And we have told the government many a time that now you can remove our guarantee. We in itself are guarantee, but government doesn't want that. They said, no, we don't want to remove that guarantee, because government knows that LIC funds nation building. How? It funds in infrastructure. It funds in rural development. It funds in healthcare. And there are many other activities which keep happening, and the government always involves the LIC of India, because they know it's a sound organization and we can look back to them for a backup. Along with the life insurance, the premium and the bonuses, there is also an option of extra riders. Riders is what? You see, this is again something, when a person is going in for a life insurance product, he or she has the option to add an extra rider in terms of health rider, in terms of an additional insurance rider. If he feels, right, my life is at risk or I'm in a risky profession, I need to have an extra rider for which a very minimal premium is charged. You see, the actuarial calculation, basically there are two components of an actuarial calculation. We have the mortality calculation and we have the investment calculation. So we have the actuarials who are sitting in our head office in Mumbai, and they make these valuations. based on which premiums are calculated. So just by paying a minimal premium, they get an additional benefit in terms of an additional insurance cover or a health rider, which comes with the insurance. Health rider means, again, in case of any kind of health emergency, these riders help you to go and approach the hospitals. See, these are add-ons. Health insurance, actual health insurance card which is there, these are add-ons, because in case like the treatment costs are very high, even this insurance premium which we pay on a health insurance is covering an insurance sum assured, which also can be a help in case of any kind of health exigency, which is a major type of a health exigency. For minor type of health exigency, this rider may not come of use. Your health card could be sufficient.